President Trump showing support for his embattled EPA administrator, Scott Pruitt, even though his chief of staff, John Kelly, has reportedly attempted to oust him.
Publicly, the administration insisting Pruitt has done a good job, despite mounting questions about his travel expenses, his security detail, and his connection to a top energy lobbyist. ABC's Kenneth Moten is also in Washington. Kenneth, good morning.
Good morning, Dan and Paula. We have new details about Scott Pruitt's Oval Office meeting Friday with President Trump. The AP reporting the head of the EPA was reportedly making the case for why he shouldn't be fired. Ethics watchdogs may be paying close attention to Pruitt, but it appears for now he's got the backing of the man in charge. Overnight, new reports of embattled EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt's unprecedented spending. The Associated Press reporting that an EPA official who spoke anonymously for fear of retaliation says Pruitt's security costs, travel expenses plus pay totaled nearly $3 million. This news coming just hours after Pruitt met with President Trump in the Oval Office.
The president thinks that he's done a good job on the purpose of carrying out the goals of the EPA. But
the White House refuses to say if Pruitt is on the chopping block. Trump tweeting his support for the EPA chief, whom he said is totally under siege. Despite the president's tweet, ABC News has confirmed that his own chief of staff, John Kelly, believes Pruitt should go. The scrutiny magnified by this Fox News interview about top aides getting hefty pay raises.
Why did you go around the president and the White House to give pay raises to two staffers?
I did not. My staff did, and I found out about that yesterday and I changed it.
But EPA officials telling ABC News that's not true. They say Pruitt knew about the raises and supported them. One aide received a nearly $57,000 increase. Pruitt, already under fire for that housing deal that allowed him to pay $50 a night for this D.C. apartment, is owned by a Washington lobbyist whose husband represents clients who fall under the EPA's jurisdiction.
It was like an Airbnb situation. When I was not there, the landlord, they had access to the entirety of the facility.
New details about that living arrangement. ABC News has learned the city says the landlord did not have a license to rent out the room. And Politico reports Pruitt overstayed his welcome. Landlords were so frustrated with their lingering tenant that they eventually pushed him out and changed their locks. That living arrangement is under scrutiny by the EPA's Inspector General and members of Congress. The EPA, which is already looking into Pruitt's travel, says security costs were high because Pruitt, the man responsible for rolling back a number of federal regulations, received unprecedented threats. Dan and Paula.
Kenneth, thank you. Let's bring in Matt Dowd, our chief political analyst. He's in Texas this morning. Matt, good morning. So let's start with Pruitt. He has been arguing that this whole thing is an effort by the left to smear him. Do you buy that?
Well, the left is opposed to him in all of this because of what he's done on environmental regulations and rolling them back. But in this case, he's actually started the political fire himself. As the lead-in said, he's got a problem on whether or not this room was rented at any sort of market rate that was justified, to who actually gave his staff the salary increases, and three, all of the stuff related to his travel, expensive travel, and everything surrounding it. So if this is a smear, it was actually started by the EPA administrator himself. And as we know, in The Wizard of Oz, witch hunts sometimes find witches.
You certainly do. And there are calls from Democrats and Republicans for Pruitt to step down. I want to ask you about this possible trade war with China. So Trump has said it is not a trade war. Do you view what he said so far as just bluster, or do you legitimately think that he's ready to go toe-to-toe with China over these tariffs?
Well, I take the president at his word, and I think he's already launched a series of tariffs around the world, especially on China. He's done this. He's now said he's going to do it some more. China's responded to this. The problem the president has in this is not only is it affecting the economy and the stock market, as we've seen over the last 10 days, but it's a political problem for the president. This is a problem the head of China doesn't have. The head of China doesn't have midterms he has to worry about. President Trump has midterms he has to worry about. And the way China is going about their tariff response in this, it is dramatically affecting those areas, especially in the Midwest and the Farm Belt, that Donald Trump has to depend on for his political upbringing in the course of the midterm.
It's tricky business. Matt Dowd, we always appreciate your analysis on a Saturday morning. Thank you very much.
Matt. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.